Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'll show you how to take the wheels off and put the wheels back on. Make sure the car is on a level and solid surface. I'm doing this to swap out my winter tires for my all seasons, but you can use the same process to also rotate your tires. Taking the wheels off a car is not very hard if you have the tools and know how to use them. Here are the tools that I use to take the wheels off my car. I use some gloves and some knee pads for my hand and knee protection. I'm using a corded impact wrench and impact socket to take the wheels off. I also have wheel locks. So to open them, I actually use a key and a 4-way tire iron. I don't use an impact wrench because that's not good for the key. You can use a regular tire iron, but if you're struggling with loosening the lugs, you can use a pipe like this that you can slide at the end of the tire iron to create extra leverage. Don't use your feet as it's not advised. Also, please don't use a torque wrench, which is actually meant to torque the wheels and not to loosen the lugs. You can also use a breaker bar, which is a better idea and much more comfortable as well. If you're using a tire iron, loosen the lug nuts before you lift the car. You should also chock your wheel before you loosen the lugs. If you are starting with the front left, then place the wheel chock behind the rear right tire. If you are starting with the front right, place the wheel chock behind the rear left tire. If you're starting with the rear left, put the wheel chock in front of the front right tire. And if you're starting with the rear right, in my case as I'm doing, I'll be placing this in front of the front left tire. For the rest of the lugs, I will be using an impact wrench. But before I do, I need to lift the car up. In my case, I'm using a floor jack with a jack stand, which slides right in. You can also use a scissor jack or a bottle jack. The mounting points on my car are here and here on this side. Please check your owner's manual to find where your mounting points are. I like these types of floor jacks because once you've lifted the car using the floor jack, you can slide in a stand and then have the weight of the car on the stand and not on the floor jack. Here's how this floor jack works. Once you've raised your car, you can slide in the jack stand, so, and then lower the car on the jack and then slide the floor jack out. As you can see, the tire is off. The car is on the jack stand. I leave the floor jack there just in case if something was to happen. It's just a backup. Here's a useful trick to load the tire back on the car, as the tires can be heavy. Make sure you are sitting on a stool or on the floor. Use your feet as leverage and also line up the holes. Once the tire has slid in, use one of the lug nuts to secure. Use your fingers to start the lugs. The lugs should be tightened in a star pattern. Make sure that when you're tightening the lugs that you're doing that in a star pattern. So if I start here, the next one is across, next one is across, next one is across from it, next one is across from it. I have not completely tightened the lugs. They're snug, but they're not completely taut. I'm gonna lower the car before I do that with a torque wrench. To make sure the wheel is secure to the hub assembly, you need a torque wrench. I'll be torquing this in a star pattern. That's all you need to do to change a wheel. You can just repeat the same steps for the rest of the 3 wheels. Drive your car for 25 miles and recheck that the torque is at the specification. Make sure to check the tire pressure to your vehicle's specification. I hope you found this video informative. Please consider liking and sharing this video and subscribing to my channel. Thank you for your time.